Well, War Child is, if it's interesting because it was Passion Play again, basically. Um, Slightly altered. See, Passion Play was a sort of, if you like, a kind of a notion in its sort of concept album form, which then gave rise to a movie scenario, which I put into a sort of fairly detailed synopsis form. It wasn't a full script, but I mean, it was sort of 70 pages or something of fairly detailed movie stuff. Um, it didn't get made largely for financial reasons, although there was quite a lot of support from a few people in the movie side of things, both in terms of actors and producers and the like. But what then happened was I decided as if you like, a musical soundtrack or another musical album around the movie which we hoped to make, to do War Child, but really the similarity in content between War Child and what was on Passion Play, I mean, they're basically the same thing. Actually, the same concept, certainly. And but of course, one being sort of fairly obscure and fairly detailed musically, the other being a conventional set of songs that had their rather conventional roles to play in a musical movie, where they were musical interludes in amongst an otherwise dramatic sort of theatrical storyline. So, but the two things are very, very related, really. Well, I mean, that's difficult to answer. I mean, it initially sold more copies. Um, its ultimate sales are still nowhere near as big as the sales of Thick as a Brick, which as a catalogue item has sold many times more records than most of them, in fact. Aqualung's probably still the single biggest seller, and you've got a lot of strong sales from the compilation albums Living in the Past and MU. But Thick as a Brick was way ahead, more popular as an album than War Child in unit sales. Still continues to sell more than War Child, I can promise you. But War Child at the time, shipped a good number. It sold a good number. It was a fairly popular album, but it wasn't a big chart album. Indeed, we've never had big chart successes since Passion Play. The last time we had a number one anywhere.